up, guys? It's Shining Polaris, and this is one very, very rare video. Probably not going to be doing this again. This will be my experience at my first WWE show in over 20 years. I just went to the Royal Rumble in St. Louis, and it was an amazing time, despite everybody saying the show sucked. I don't know if it did. I watched it live, and I thought it was awesome. Anyhow, I know, this is like, it feels weird. Everyone's saying this is my heel turn. Look at this. Had to put some of my WWE belts on the shelf here to, like, you know, make it in theme. I got my WWE hat on. Well, I really only have AJ Styles shirts. So anyway, but yeah. So I'm just really going to talk about my experience there and what I thought about, like, some of the matches or whatever. Before that, I am going to just show off some of the stuff I got. But I just want to say, everybody that was watching on TV was saying that this is probably one of the worst Royal Rumbles ever. I don't know. And like I said, I watched it in person, and I feel like if you're at a show, it's just automatically going to be fun. Whether, you know, you're not, like, for me, I wasn't really thinking about, oh, the booking sucks. I will tell you right now that I am actually a very casual WWE fan, and I really came in here barely knowing anything on the card, besides, you know, the men and women Royal Rumble matches, and of course, I really did go when I heard Mickie James was going to be there. That's really why I went. Royal Rumble was not in the books at all. Because I have to save up for other shows. I YOLO'd it, and I went here instead. So, but I had a great time. So anyhow, that's just my take on it. I think, in my opinion, the reason why I had fun is because, how do I say, had a kind of a mindset of like when I watched wrestling as a kid, right? You don't really overthink it and all that. Like I said, I didn't really know what was on the card. I don't know the stories that well. I just know that I wanted to see some of my favorite wrestlers and some of the, you know, the top wrestlers out there that I've never seen live. So anyway, so I'm going to show some of the stuff I got. It's on the floor here. So let's see. So so I got this really neat, I love pins. So I got the Royal Rumble pin right here. They had two event shirts. I got both of them. So this is the first one. This is a little bit more plain. I like this one more. This is just says St. Louis Rumble, and then it says that in the back. I actually like the image on the back a lot. And then their other event shirt. So it looks like that with everybody on it, and then that's what it looked like in the back. So those are the two shirts I got. And then I never bought a program before, so I got the program. I don't know what you call it, guide, but it's just a program. It just basically, I looked at it, it just has like pictures of all the wrestlers. So that's cool. I like that. And then the last thing I got, this came with my seat. I got the chair right here. So it looks like this. So that's what it looks like. And it's crazy because I'm having a very small collection of chairs too. So now I have one WWE chair. I got two AEW ones. So, all right. So that's the swag that I got. I really like it. It was very cool. Okay. So my experience there otherwise. So I think about 40,000 people were at the show. I drove to St. Louis, so that's what helped with the cost because I didn't have to buy a plane ticket, and I stayed at a very cheap hotel. So so I drove down there, and actually, like, so the door opened at 4:30, and surprisingly, I know there's more than one entrance. It just happened to be the entrance I was at. Did not really have that long of a line. So that was really good. I dressed, as you probably saw the pictures. I went and, you know, always have to represent the Young Bucks in some way, right? So I wore their all pink gear. I figured that was like neutral enough because it didn't have any logos or anything. And I had my AJ Styles shirt on. So I wore that. I waited in line. Doors open. You have to go right into the metal detector. That line was actually very long or just took so long. And I thought it was because of the metal detector, but it was actually because for some reason it took the people scanning the tickets, because they scanned it right when you got out of the metal detector. And it took them a long time to like scan one ticket. So I think, yeah, that was why the lines were backed up. And it was, even though St. Louis is slightly warmer than Chicago, I mean, everybody was not dressed for the weather, right? Because you know you're going to be inside, it's going to be hot. So everybody was either wearing a hoodie, light jacket, or a t-shirt. I was wearing that pink leather jacket, so that didn't really give me much warmth. It was very cold standing outside waiting to get in. But anyway, when we got in there, I took I took I went all the way to the top, and I took a few really nice photos of the arena, and got a few selfies over there too, of course. So like I said, this was a totally last minute trip, and I waited till the last minute to buy a ticket. Hopefully it went down a little bit. It didn't actually go down that much at all, but I went with the floor tickets again. I know, it's so stupid. It's so dumb. I was really deciding if I should just make it really cheap and sit at the top or go with the floor, but I was like, you know what? This is probably my only WWE show in a very long time. So I'm like, F it. just sit, sit on the floor. So I did that. So there's another additional table or whatever for people that sit on the floor. They give you a bracelet. That bracelet, if you sat on the floor before, if you get a seat, you have to get a bracelet so they know that you're walking out of there with a chair. So walking on the floor, like I said, was very cool. Got to take really good pics of the ring up close, and for their merch stand, they have quite a few merch stands there. So at AEW shows, they usually have like really one or two, and all their shirts sell out really quickly. I don't think that was the problem with WWE at all. They had a lot of merch stands, and then what sucked, what I didn't know, so they have the online apps that you could just buy the merch up there and then pick it up right at the store, so you don't have to wait in line, which I did. But then my friends wanted stuff too, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go over there and buy it. So of course the lines for the merch stands were like somewhat long, but I did not know that on the floor they had, because you have to get the ticket to show that you're on the floor, right? So they had their additional like own merch stand down at the floor, which had no lines at all, and I'm like, I should have just went there. But it's all right. It didn't matter. I still got what I needed. And so when the show started, like the first match off the gate was Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, and I will say that I'm not really a big Roman Reigns fan. I did really like the Shield when they were together, and so I was somewhat excited for this this matchup, right? Had to make a little cut right there because I'm like, why not show this off? This is a cool piece I had. So like I said, I may not be a big Roman Reigns fan, but I agree that his like storyline right now is probably the best in WWE. So when it was announced that Roman Reigns was facing Seth Rollins, I was like excited about that because like everyone else, right? Who didn't like the Shield? So yeah, I just wanted to show this off for no reason. This is the Shield, like I don't know if it's a limited edition figure, but I had it signed, and so at one of the conventions. So it is signed by Seth Rollins. One day I'll have it signed by Roman Reigns, I'm sure. As for Dean Ambrose, I don't know if he'll ever sign this, but anyway, I just wanted to show that off. All right, but anyhow, so first Roman Reigns came out, and after he had his entrance, and then the Shield like music and image came up, and I like did the mini pop for that. That was very entertaining. Seth Rollins came from the crowd to go into the ring. And I do have video clips of this, but like I said, I could not find him in the crowd. So I was like, where is he? I know everyone's looking in the direction, so my camera's aimed in that direction. Who knows if it's actually on that image, but I did have him, when he actually got in the ring and did his pose and stuff. I will have to say, like, I personally think this was like the best match of the night, and I know a lot of people were mad. I was mad too at the finish. Like, actually, it was like me and the guys I was sitting next to. We all laughed when it was over because we were like, typical WWE, never a clean finish. So, like I said, the match was really good, and I was really hoping, actually, like, like me and the guys, the people that were next to me, we were all thinking that maybe Seth Rollins was going to win this. So, Roman could, like, I don't know, face Brock Lesnar for the title or whatever. Obviously all that is not happening at all, but yeah, that was our speculation in the beginning because it really looked like that Seth Rollins was going to win. At the end, no one won at the end, right? It was like a DQ finish or whatnot. So that part really sucked. And then Roman Reigns continued to beat on Seth Rollins with the chair, that kind of shenanigans. So besides that ending, which I agree was not great, I actually really like the match. So, all right, the next one was the women's Royal Rumble, and again, so women's Royal Rumble is really the reason why I went to this show, and especially on SmackDown, right? They announced that Sasha Banks was going to be in it. I was really excited. Like I've said on my Twitter, I know my Twitter is very heavily AEW and Impact, of course, but I still do watch WWE, and Sasha Banks is my favorite women's WWE wrestler, and I know like y'all are gonna roll your eyes, but I really do like her. So it was very cool to like see her live for the first time, because I've never, like I said, I hadn't gone to a WWE show in over 20 years. So yeah, so she came out, she was number one. That was very cool, because that means like, usually number one people, they'll last through the most, throughout the longest, I should say. So that was cool, because I'm like, good, I get to see her a lot. I really liked her gear. She came out in the Sailor Moon type gear. I still want to cosplay as Sasha Banks, because I think she has some of the best gear right now, and a lot of them are cosplay inspired, so I love it. So yeah, so her first opponent was Molina. And Molina had a grand entrance, and like I said, it was very cool to see Molina come out, because she's on NWA, she's been on Impact. But I will say that was really sucked that Molina literally lasted for like 2 seconds. Sasha Banks kicked her out, or threw her out almost immediately after Molina did all her poses. So again, I can see why people roll in their eyes. They're like, really? So yeah. So yeah, you got a whole bunch of cool wrestlers coming in here doing their thing. Obviously, the reason why I came to the show was to see Mickie James. So I really was not sure how Mickie James was going to come out, because I'm like, oh, WWE, we joke about their partnership with everybody. They don't really work well with other companies. So I was really afraid that Mickie James was going to come out just as her, her persona in WWE with her WWE theme or whatever. But it was very cool. She actually came out in the hardcore country music with the Impact title. And she was able to, hold it up, show it off, and I did see the screenshot of like on TV. It said Impact, Knockouts champion on her title bar. So that was really good. Even a little bit like that, like I think it helped Impact. So that was, I'm very happy about that. And I love on Twitter, a lot of people had a lot of positive things to say about Mickie James in the Royal Rumble, and a lot of the other female wrestlers in general, but I see a lot of the female ones were just very proud that, that she came out like that. And also Mickie James lasted for a long time too. Again, I was afraid, just like with Molina, I was afraid she was just going to be in there and then be eliminated immediately. But I'm glad that she was out there. She looked really good. You'll all see this. I have a lot of clips, and I made sure to capture as much as Mickie James as I could, because that's why I was there, right? So, all right. So after the Rumble, the Royal Rumble, yeah, the big pop was Ronda Rousey came out, and at the end it was Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. And actually, that did not last very long. I really thought they were going to have like a little mini match there, but Ronda threw Charlotte Flair out, so Ronda Rousey wins, gonna main event WrestleMania. All right. Again, not that, and I can see why. Again, people are mad. They said that this Royal Rumble was very predictable. At the end, you can kind of see it was, I guess. But again, I was watching it as a fan there. I didn't even think of any of that. I came in knowing very little what the show, and I was like, I'm just gonna have a good time. So, I really enjoyed the Women's Rumble all the way around. Even Ronda winning, I was popping for all of that. So, okay. What's the next match? Oh, yeah. Okay, so the next match, I felt really bad. The next match was for the Raw Women's Championship. This was Becky Lynch versus Doudrop. And I just felt so bad. Nobody cared about this match. I will say, as a person being there, after the Women's Rumble, everyone got out of their seats to like go to the bathroom or you know, get something to eat or drink or something. And like I don't know what it is. It was like or if you're not there, you were just kind of sitting around talking. So it seemed like it seemed like there was no like show going on. And even when like Doudrop came out, I was not paying attention to her at all because I was talking to the people sitting around me. When she came out, I saw her on the stage and I was like, did she just get a job, her entrance? Because I didn't even see her entrance at all. Like, that's just how nobody was paying attention. And to make it worse, like, now I wish I had videotape of this, but I didn't because, so I did try to tape some of this Becky Lynch match because I know a lot of people are fans of Becky Lynch, and one of my friends is a very big fan of hers, so I wanted to take some video, you know, to show him. But nobody was paying attention because right behind me was the WrestleMania sign, and it was apparently on fire. I did not see this. Oh, God, I was so pissed. By the time I realized that was happening and I turned around to videotape it, they were lowering it down, and I think the fire was out. I'm very sure it was like a small fire, too, but I just remember seeing the people, like security guard or whatever, trying to tell the people to move out of the way because they were trying to lower it down all the way to the ground. I actually thought that was hilarious. One of the best parts was when we were all watching, looking at that sign, there was a guy kind of behind me, and he was like, people, there's a match going on. Becky Lynch is right there. Why are we not watching the match? Why are we all looking at this sign? It was just so funny and sad at the same time. Nobody cared about this match. Even like myself trying to video record here and there. I just didn't feel for this match. And again, probably another down point of the show that everyone probably didn't like, because I guess it was, I mean, so a lot of people were saying that this show wasn't good because it's predictable, right? So, but I feel like that match was super predictable. Like, who would believe that Doudrop was going to beat Becky Lynch, which is sad, right? So, anyway, yeah, Becky Lynch won this, of course, and there you go. But I will say it was funny because of the sign. Everybody was just looking at that. Nobody cared about the match. All right, the match after this was the mixed tag team. This was Miz and Maryse versus Edge and Beth Phoenix. And this is probably another really good match that they had on the card. I'm not a really big fan of Miz and Maryse, but I did enjoy, like I said, I did enjoy seeing Edge and Beth Phoenix, so I was really watching it for them. Like I said, really, just a good tag match. I was surprised at some of the moves that Maryse did. I mean, I don't know any of her work, so I was one of the when I see her did some things, I'm like, oh, she can wrestle, because I usually just see her as a valet, right? But again, another predictable win. You know, you're like, how is Edge and Beth Phoenix gonna lose? But yeah, like I said, it was regardless whether because I see Miz and Maryse of like a very comedic act, which I'm very sure everyone does too. So for them to like put up a pretty decent fight, and they did like some decent moves and offense in there. So because of that, I like this match too. But yeah, like I said at the end, Edge and Beth Phoenix won, and what was really cool was after the match, after they won, they went to the side of the ring, and their like kids were there, and then they would just like carry their kids out and walk to the back. So I don't know, it was like, oh, kids. So all right, and then the match after this one, this was a match a lot of people were looking forward to. This was for the WWE championship. What is it? Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. And yeah, people are looking forward to this because Brock Lesnar, obviously super popular. Everybody wants to see him, but they never had a match against Bobby Lashley. Those two are like super heavyweights. You know, you always like to see, you know, big guys go at it, right? So watching this, I enjoyed it a lot because you had, obviously you had Bobby Lashley with MVP on his side, and then Paul Heyman with Brock Lesnar, and then you had Paul Heyman introduce Brock Lesnar. That was great. It was cool to hear the crowd like, you know, say the words with Paul Heyman. So this match, we should go right to the end. Very, I will say I was very surprised at the finish because I really thought hands down that, you know, Lesnar was going to win it, but the way that he lost was pretty cool, I would say. Brock Lesnar, he went and did a lot of offense to Lashley, so it obviously clearly looked like he was gonna beat him, right? But what happened was Roman Reigns came out and then he kind of like helped. No, he did. He helped Lashley won by hitting Lesnar with the belt, and then the best part was like he was looking. Oh yeah, so he was looking at Paul Heyman, and Heyman like gives Roman Reigns the belt, and that was when he used it to hit Lesnar, and then just kind of like walked out to the back. And because of that, MVP's like telling Lashley like get on top of him, whatever. So then Lashley pinned Lesnar, and Lashley gets the championship. And then you have Paul Heyman walks with Roman Reigns like slowly and kind of like my tribal chief. I don't know that image. I have to say I like Paul Heyman. He is just his expressions or whatever. Like to me he's such a simp for Roman Reigns. The whole time he's just like this. I don't know why. That was just so funny just seeing that. So yeah. I think that we may have had a feel. I know there's a lot of speculation that may have happened. I wasn't sure. So to me that was very surprising that Roman did that, because it just looked like when Roman fired Heyman. I thought that was like kind of the end of their partnership for sure, and that was it for them. So that was I like the ending to that, and I think Lashley deserves the title. So that. To me, that was good. I liked it. And, it will lead up to the end of the show. So, all right. And lastly was the main event that everybody wanted to see. This was the men's Royal Rumble. I really liked it a lot. I know everyone hated how it ended, but regardless, I watched it as a fan point of view, right? I was really, really happy to see that the person that went out as number one was AJ Styles. So, very cool. My favorite female wrestler, my favorite male wrestler, WWE, both came out as number one. Very nice. So AJ Styles came out first. Second person that came out was Shinsuke Nakamura, which was very cool because, you get to see his entrance and the people like singing along to it. It was very, very awesome to see. The one part of the Rumble that I liked was, so you have Mickie James came out for the women's, right, and clearly representing Impact. For the men's Rumble, Bobby Roode came out, and him and AJ Styles had like a little like face off before they started wrestling, whatever. And I'm not sure what section started at, but there was a small like TNA chance. It was amazing. Like I absolutely loved it. So I've seen a couple tweets say it, and I agree with it. Everyone says Impact is dead. Everyone says TNA is dead. But you see that little like chance like that right there. You don't understand how much TNA Impact influence wrestling in general. So that was really cool to see that, like, little nod for that, because I've said it in my tweet. AJ Styles was the best in TNA. Anyway, anyhow, one thing I really did not like about the Royal Rumble, and because maybe I'm biased, but like, why is Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss was why are they so over in this Rumble? I think they eliminated quite a few people. Those two goofballs. I'm like, why? And then Madcap Moss, really? He's the one that eliminated AJ Styles, and AJ was there for like a long time in that Rumble, and it was him that eliminated AJ. I was like, really? You can see everyone's like booing. I mean, yeah, that's why they did it, right? They want the boos, but it was. I was like, really? So I'm very sure that's probably going to start a new stupid feud between them. But a good part of the Rumble I liked was Drew McIntyre when he came out. Obviously, he's there to attack Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss because, whatever the shenanigans they did with his sword. And it was great because he eliminated both of them and then afterwards attacked them with with the stairs. I got that all on clip. So that's that was a really nice moment there. One sad moment, and I see it with my own eyes, but I'm not sure what exactly happened. Kofi Kingston came in, and I don't know. He was like eliminated immediately. So I'm not sure if he like injured himself and that's why he was eliminated. It was hard for me to see where my perspective was. It looked like he landed really bad on the railing on the side, and maybe it was both, right? Maybe he got eliminated very early and got hit on the stairs. I could not. I should have looked it up before this, but I didn't know what happened then. I just know that a lot of people were sad and booing that he was barely in there. So I'm not sure what happened. Hopefully he didn't really get hurt. It looked like he got hurt landed on that thing. So I'm not sure. There's another downside of the Rumble. Of course, like I think people were disappointed because I think we were all expecting like one big surprise for the men's Rumble. You know, I've been saying like, come on, put Moose in there, right? You know, you got all this Impact representative. Let's have one person for the Rumble, right? I was really hoping to be Moose, but that surprise ended up being Brock Lesnar, and which would make sense because he just lost his title. So he came in, and of course he won it. So I think a lot of people were mad about that the men and women's Royal Rumble were easily predicted, I guess, because of the two big comebacks or surprises. And I could see that, but again, as a super casual fan that didn't keep up with the WWE news, I'm just watching it as a fan, and I was excited to just see all these people live for the first time ever, and probably the last time, because I don't know when the next time I'll go to the WWE show. So yeah, that was my experience. After the show, so at the end, I think from hearing the people around me, they were really excited to see Randy Orton. So I think he basically came out at the end or near the end. And him and Riddle, they didn't stay in the Rumble that long. But I know that Orton is a fan favorite because that's like his hometown. So after the show ended, and I have a clip of this on my Twitter, he just came out with Riddle, and they posed for the crowd at the end, and then they walked around the ring to shake hands or high fives or whatever, something like that. So that was cool. That was cool. They did that. What's funny was that I was hoping at the end that someone would say thank you for coming, like what Tony Khan does at AEW. That didn't happen. But I will say the Randy Orton thing, that was kind of like their little way of doing that. So yeah, I was buried pretty big last night, but I enjoyed myself a lot on the show. I have tons of clips that will last me forever, and it should, because this will be the only WWE clip I have, right? So follow me on Twitter, and you get to see all my stuff for this week. A lot of shows coming up. Shining Polaris. I'm also on Instagram again. Shining Polaris on there too. You want to see all my clips of the Royal Rumble and my clips on Impact and AEW. That will be Shining Polaris AEW. Don't worry, guys. I know most of my followers, friends, and fans are Impact and AEW related. Things will go back to normal because, like this, I will be back at Dynamite on Wednesday. So the fun never ends. And then I hadn't gotten approved, but I already made travel plans. I will be going to No Surrender. I have to go to that for Impact. So, all right. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this very long video did not bore you, because I had a lot of details to say. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you, everybody, really, for the kind comments about the Rumble, because I know it's hard to ignore the hater comments, but it regardless how hard you try, it's still kind of sad. I had such a great time there to hear everybody was saying, no, the show sucked. How can you have a great time? That's really really. So, but anyway, thank you for everyone that DM me and commented saying, F those guys. You had fun. All right. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you next time.